Hi there, it's Kevin from the Figaro Owners Club. It's great to be with you. This video is all about one of my favourite accessories for the car, and it's a roof visor, or maybe a rain guard, or I don't know. It's been called quite a lot of things over its time, but we've googled it, and they've in the translation on the accessories brochure, it's like a roof visor, and it's supposed to emphasise all this stainless steel, which I guess it does actually, doesn't it? We've got the stainless steel, lovely moulding here on the front of the windscreen, and obviously this piece fits over. There's two of them, obviously one each side. They're in a pair, and what I wanted to do today is just to show you how to fit these if you're lucky enough to get hold of them. They're not available anymore from Nissan. At the time of purchase, when you bought the car, you could have had them for 30 quid for the pair, so it's a pretty good price back in 91. So I'm just going to go through how to fit them, because they are quite fiddly, and you know, they do tend to also sort of fall off a little bit after a time, especially if you lean on it. I've done that a few times, but I still love them because I love a bit of bling with the old Fig. Who doesn't want that? It's just an accessory that I really love. Sets off the car fantastically. So I'm just going to go through basically how to fit it from scratch. Okay, so this is the strip on its own, as you can see, and that's the brochure here with 55 accessories on it. You can still get this, or we have got it on our website. You can download an A4 version, so that's what we're talking about. That's one of the 55 accessories. So what it comes with is basically a set of little saddles. One side has got like a plastic coating. Now they are stainless steel and they're slightly different sizes. I'll go through that in a minute. So basically you've got 6 of these, obviously 2 make a setup, one at the top and one at the bottom. Also you've got a little dome M4 screws, well no they're screws in like a dome head and a dome nut. Okay, so that's obviously 3 sets of those. Now the important thing is, I've got them on the car here. You can see that one fits on the top of this, obviously this piece of trim, and one fits underneath it. They do actually, once they're clipped in, they do hold their own, because you've got this obviously this neoprene strip running along the top here, so they kind of insert into here, so it's quite fiddly to push them in. Now the important thing to do with this, my little tip, is hold it up and then try and position these where the holes are. You get my drift? So you sort of, because you can obviously slide them left and right slightly, but try and get them roughly where these holes are. You can see this is roughly where it's going to sit. And another good tip is what you want to try and achieve is when they're flat, if you like, they're horizontal, yeah. So you can imagine, there we go, that's just popped out now. So this is the problem you get. So you push it in, this does not hold unless it's dead tight. The minute one of these, sorry you can't see, I'm not filming, the minute one of these becomes slightly loose, then it can just pop out. So for it to work, it's got to be kind of like that. Do you get my drift? It's got to be completely tight and snug from the top and the bottom. If it's like that, it ain't never going to come off. But the minute one becomes slightly loose, or it pulls down, if it ends up pulling down, then this top one will just fall off. And more often than not, you can like I've done before, with maybe putting the cover on it, or I might just lent on it and the whole thing falls away slightly. So it's a little bit annoying, and you have to like redo it again. So that's a good tip, is to just get these in line, and then we'll get on to the fixing of them. So as I said, you just clip them in. So as I mentioned earlier, you've got this little tiny cutout here, and that goes in there just above this little trim. This trim won't do anything now because it's the other side. There's a little trim tab here, which is meant for like adjusting the vibration in the windscreen, but it's not actually going to be of any use, because once this is on, it's completely covered up from the airflow. So it kind of pops on like that, and then it just goes down. That's it. Now it's in now. I can tell it's in. And then if you see here, you can see it's lining up. They're lining up quite well. So I'm going to have to put the camera down, and you're going to have to trust me on this, because I can't hold the camera and put the screw in at the same time. So I'll pick up on the next part. So I've managed to get that one in, and as I said, you have to fiddle about a little bit under the saddles under here, but then what you're looking for, just hold it, push it against the paintwork. You're looking for the hole here, and now you just basically drop the screw through and the nut on the other side and do it up whilst you're holding it. It is a bit fiddly, but trust me. There we go, that was in. I can give it a fairly good tug. It's not going anywhere. So the last one now, again, trying lining up the holes here, pushing it in, having a little fiddle around. Maybe if you've got something to poke down and make sure that it's clear. But as I said, the trick is to hold it against the paintwork whilst you're doing up the screw. So that's two done. Last one to do. Good little tip here. So you get yourself a little tiny Phillips screwdriver, and if you push that through there, then that kind of like lines all the saddles up, and then you can hold it and then just drop the screw straight through. Hopefully that'll work. It's worked for me. There we go. You can see the little hole there. So that's made it much easier. So I've managed to get that connected, so just do that through like that. There we go. And then underneath, just need to put the nut on. Try and do this while I'm filming it with one hand and prove that it does actually work. There we go. Oh, it's even gripping. Just be very, very careful not to over tighten these and mess the top of these screws up, because they're very visible and you don't want to sort of see any butchered screw marks. So obviously when you're finished, give it a good old polish with a duster. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, do like a nice bit of bling. Get your sunglasses out. So anyway, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that someone will remake these, because I think they're a great addition to the car. I don't actually think they'll be too expensive to make, so hopefully somebody will end up remaking them at some stage. But as I said, they're not available at the moment, but you can, I have seen them on eBay and sometimes Figaro traders, so look out for them. Anyway, I hope that's been useful, and I'll see you on the next one very, very soon. Cheers, bye.